Hello, this is Mark Sabatella from Outside Shore Music. In this video, I want to talk about the labeling of scale degrees and the Roman numeral analysis that we use in minor keys. And this is a point that generates some confusion because there's really two different systems that are in common use. There's the more traditional system, which has been around a long time, but it creates some ambiguity. And then there's a system that most jazz musicians and a lot of other modern musicians typically use that I would say is less ambiguous. But if you don't know which system is being used, it's going to be confusing. So let's take a look. First of all, in a major key, we name the scale degrees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we use those to generate our Roman numerals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then scale degree 1, and we call the chords there, the 1 chord, the 2 chord, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. No problems there. But let's switch over to a minor key. If we're in C minor, then the question is, well, how should we label the scale degrees there? And the traditional way of doing it is just to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. In other words, the fact that is a minor key, we say, well, it's a minor key, so we know the scale degree 3 is a flat 3. We know the sixth scale degree is flatted compared to the major key. You kind of see where I'm going here with the confusion. I already managed to say this in a confusing way, so let me say that more clearly. The third scale degree in a minor key is a minor third above the tonic, whereas the third scale degree in a major key is a major third. In theory, if we know we're in a minor key, this shouldn't cause confusion. If someone says scale degree 3, we're in the key of C minor, we know they mean E flat. That shouldn't be confusing. The confusion comes in when we talk about, say, the 7th scale degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. The 7th scale degree in a minor key, well, this is this guy here, B flat in the key of C minor. Except if we're dealing with, say, a harmonic minor scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7th degree is a B natural. So if we're labeling scale degrees and we're talking about the harmonic minor scale, then the 7th scale degree is B natural, not B flat. So if you say 7 in a minor key, we would have to wonder, well, do you mean the natural minor scale or the harmonic minor scale? Because then it's either B or B flat. And the traditional way of resolving that is to say, well, we mean natural minor. Okay, we mean natural minor. If we wanted B natural, we would call it sharp 7 to indicate that it's the raised 7th degree. And this is fine, but it really gets to be more confusing when we start looking at Roman numeral analysis. The chord here that we might get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the chord built on scale degree 7 is a B flat major chord, or it's a B diminished chord. And here's where things get more confusing. The traditional way of labeling this would be to say, well, we'll call this one 7, like capital 7, as in V11, but we'll call this one lowercase 7 diminished, because this is B flat major, this is B diminished. So we're still calling them both 7, but one of them's capital and major and the other one's lowercase and diminished, and that's how we would know to use B flat or B. And yeah, this is traditional. It's the way it's generally been done for a long time. But at some point, I think musicians started saying, you know what, this seems needlessly ambiguous. I shouldn't have to guess whether you mean B flat or B. If I see a 7, I don't want to have to guess. Does that mean B flat or B? It's going to depend on whether I'm in natural minor or harmonic minor. It's going to depend on whether it's a major chord, a capital V, or a lowercase. I just want to know if it's B flat or B, right? So the more common way we notate this or talk about these scale degrees, at least in the jazz world, but a lot of other modern musicians as well, will say, you know what, let's just label everything according to the major scale. So in other words, even in a minor key, we would label these scale degrees 1, 2, and then flat 3, because it's flat compared to major, and then 4, and then 5, and flat 6, flat 7, and then back to 1. We will call this major chord here flat major 7. This is the way a lot of musicians like to label things. It's less ambiguous. You can, if you know you're using this system, we know which 6 and which 7, because 6 has the same problem, right? I talked about B flat versus B natural, but A flat has the same problem, because sometimes it's A natural in melodic minor, and then sometimes we get this diminished chord here. So we have all this potential for ambiguity that, yes, you can resolve by thinking through the context, but the more modern system says let's not have that ambiguity. Let's just label everything relative to the major key. So A flat is flat 6. If an A natural happens, we'll call it 6. And then it really does simplify things. I'm not saying you have to use this system yourself, but I am saying that if you want to talk about scale degrees or Roman numeral analysis, you want to know which of these two systems people are using. And at least in my own teaching, this is the system I'm going to be using, or have been using for many, many years. I'm going to talk about scale degree flat 3, flat 6, flat 7. I'm going to talk about Roman numeral flat 7. I'm going to talk about Roman numeral flat 7 as that major chord built on B flat, and I'll talk about Roman numeral lowercase 7 diminished when I mean the diminished chord built on B. To me, this is less ambiguous, it's clear, it's simple. It's just not the way it's traditionally been done. I didn't invent this this modern system. I didn't invent it. I'm just a fan of it, and I'm letting you all know that this is how I do things and how a lot of other people do things as well.